Before we begin, I made a playlist for the 80th anniversary. I have put together a series of videos fans have produced to honor the occasion. I cannot include every video like the Down the Mine pilot on the official channel because YouTube doesn't allow videos slapped with a kids app to be included in the playlists. Either way, check out the playlist and you might find other content creators to your liking. But for now, on to the main topic. G'day mates, it's the Doctor here, and we're at the end of an era. All Legends Go is officially over, and from what I've gathered, the final special was a disappointment even by All Legends Go standards. Recall when Duck and the Scottish twins were announced to have toys in the style of the show? It was safe to assume they were set to appear in the show, but only Duck appeared in the final special and only as a cameo. That sounds familiar. Yes, despite recurring appearances since the first season, Henry and Edward were never given voice roles and not once ever referred to by name. The final special also marks another crazy milestone for this era. Thomas is never the main character. I once praised All Legends Go for allowing its new characters to take the spotlight as the protagonists, but this also means the title character is never the lead in the specials. Race for the Sodor Cup is about Kana, Mystery of Lookout Mountain is an ensemble cast, and difficult to tell who the lead is. The Christmas Letter Express is another Percy movie, and Sodor Sings Together is all about Nia. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call bait and switch. Anyway, amidst this last season of the reboot, a user on Twitter by the name of Waxworld Official shared a screenshot of an unaired episode from the season. So let's see what this is about. Got a DM from an Alvana animator that shared with me a scrapped All Legends Go episode called Nia Needs to Go. Ooh, that's got a nice ring to it. Plot focused on a human protester trying to make Sodor great again by removing Nia as he claims she's spreading music, whimsy, and fun everywhere. Nia is capable of spreading fun? Okay, I'm already a little sus about this. In these times of uncertainty, AI, false accusations, misinformation circling around the internet, it's important to keep your guard up and have a sharp eye on whatever you might find as you are scrolling through the web of digital information that could be exaggerated, falsified, or completely fabricated. So, what are we dealing with? The latest case of Thomas lost media? Or a fake episode that was meant to stir up drama causing people to become disillusioned? Let's dissect this slimy little toad together. Where to begin? Where to begin? Let's start with the picture quality. It appears to be taken from someone's phone rather than a screenshot, likely so the leaker would not get caught if Mattel scrolled through the computer history. I'm not sure what this bar is on the bottom of the photo. It doesn't appear to be the edge of a computer monitor, but more rather it's part of the episode itself, which is unusual once you notice the setting appears to be slanted, making the scene to be animated on a Dutch angle. The design of a human character is how Waxwell described. He's got the Nia Needs to Go sign. He's wearing a Miska hat. SP, I don't know what that's in reference to. Sodor property? That seems counterintuitive if he doesn't want Nia to become a part of Sodor. There is transparent text in the center of the screen that reads, Mattel Confidential, do not distribute. This might sound familiar to some of you as this is the same text from the original All Legends Go trailer that leaked in 2021. But why would the episode say this? Likely, Nia Needs to Go was incomplete at the time this was taken and possibly required cleanup animation before it was set to air. And there may be some proof to my theory as Thomas's axle appears to be coming from his running board rather than his undercarriage. However, assuming this is a real episode, Thomas looks fairly accurate to his 2D redesign. You got lighter triangular shapes on his wheels. His whistle stretches above his cab roof, which is also accurate. And Thomas has still got bucked teeth, which I didn't realize when writing 50 Things Wrong with All Legends Go. And every time I see Thomas with his Bugs Bunny teeth, I'm just hoping Wile E. Coyote can catch a little bugger and turn him into steamed soup. Clearly we are dealing with a politically driven episode. The protester in question is obviously a metaphor for MAGA, the conservative right-wing group in support of Donald Trump who coined the slogan, "Make America Great Again." Now, not here to tell you which political parties are right or wrong, contrary to what some of my detractors will say. I have views considered progressive and conservative, and when it comes to voting, I support whichever party is the least moronic in the present. This is not the only instance where the entertainment industry took the opportunity to spit on conservatives. Early this year, Amazon released a movie called G9, which has been described as a die-hard rip-off and received less than stellar reviews from critics and audiences. Warner Bros. Also put out a movie called Mickey 17, which received better reviews but underperformed at the box office, with one of the biggest critiques being Mark Ruffalo doing his worst Trump impersonation.
Which dickhead is it, Mickey 18?
That's nothing, honey.
Wait till these two are scorched sausages in the cycler.
No more reprints! That's what you both should be thinking when you die. Dead forever!
But how exactly does this relate to Thomas the Tank Engine? This is a franchise that was created by a reverend, a man raised on Christianity, aka conservative views. I doubt anyone would classify Thomas as a Christian show, but as someone who grew up with certain beliefs, they are bound to seep into their own writing. It's why the Fat Controller as the authority figure has been compared to God.
There is certainly an analogy to be drawn between the fact that the engines are governed by a sort of omnipresent being, and if you care to equate the Fat Controller with God in that sense, then fine. I don't think really that was the original concept, but Father being a clergyman, maybe it was a subconscious one.
Not to say we need to exclude opposing values, I'm just saying if you want to include opposing beliefs into someone else's work, you gotta be smart about it and not blubber about it. The very concept of this episode appears to reflect the attitude of a studio. Nia is a polarized character in the Thomas fandom. Most of us, if not the majority, were open to the idea of an African engine introduced, but none of her episodes warrants her as the appropriate replacement for Henry and Edward. And rather than listening to feedback, Mattel produced an episode to poke fun at what they considered a vocal minority, and group the fans who took umbrage with Nia as Trump supporters. But after the 2024 election, they had a realization the people they were taking shots at might be a larger crowd than they anticipated, and cancelled the entire episode. But otherwise, everything else about this leak appears to be authentic. The art style and character proportions are accurate. Thomas and Nia lack any side rods connecting their wheels. But there is something about the mean-spirited nature of this story that has me skeptical about this alleged leak. As someone who has watched the entirety of Season 1, or the first half, apparently Mattel combined Seasons 1 and 2 plus 3 and 4 together, which is why Seasons 1 and 2 are 52 episodes long, whereas Seasons 3 and 4, aka what should have been Seasons 5 and 6, are 26 episodes long. Are you confused yet? Good, I'm not alone. As someone who has watched the first batch of All Engines Go episodes, it was the safest, harmless, most artificially sanitized show I have ever seen. I cannot speak for the other episodes, but even with what little I saw, this just seems out of place to see someone getting physically assaulted by Thomas. Oh yeah, that is something pretty major. Thomas is punching a person! A person got hit by a train in Thomas the Tank Engine! But this might be a giveaway, as all 6 seasons of All Engines Go contain 26 episodes. If this cancelled episode was real, shouldn't the final season have less episodes like Season 21? Not necessarily. Season 2 had several cancelled episodes, and yet, that season managed to produce 26 episodes like the majority of other seasons in the original show. This is how we solve mysteries, kids. We ask questions that aim to put the pieces together, to spot things that appear out of place. You might see things others do not, and it's important to let them know in case your question may potentially change the narrative. Because to take a page out of Death Note, either way, we are now left with a mysterious episode that will likely never see the light of day, and be lost to time forever.
Hello, I'm Joaquin from Waxworld, and I will explain why this stupid image has been circling online. I caught wind of SP months ago due to his weird racist takes and videos involving deporting Nia or hating her for being African. And then I tried calling out his behavior on some of my socials, and in one of his "oh, Thomas fans hate me" kind of videos, SP just called me a freaking pussy. Or more accurately, a freaking pathetic pussy of a fan that is obsessed with him. Though, to be fair, yeah, I might have gone too far with calling out his behavior, but with the amount of people supporting his channel, the way he's encouraging this sort of degenerate behavior is just not a good look for the Thomas fandom as a whole, if I'm being frank. So, with that incident leaving a bitter taste in my mouth, and knowing how much the guy hated All Engines Go, I decided to make this dumb image using actual screen caps from the show and my drawing skills to poke fun at him for a little meme. Little did I know, some folks think that this thing is real, which it isn't. I think it might have had something to do with the fact that I put in the post saying that it was sent by an employee of Nelvana, which isn't a good idea in hindsight, so don't do that. PSA, research first and know when something is a joke. Okay, goodbye. I'll be back doing the Bob video.
So there you have it, everyone. It turns out it was nothing more than a troll post, and for once, Mattel is innocent in all this. I want to give a special thanks to Waxworld for reaching out to me and explaining the post himself, but don't be disappointed if you think that was rather lackluster, that it's not another addition to the pile of Thomas lost media. Because there is a lesson in all this, to not take everything at first glance, and hopefully I've improved your observation skills when posts like this surface online, and we can properly debunk it if they're real or fake. But in this case, it was more of a not what you know, but who you know, as I was reaching out to other people to get to the bottom of the mystery, and eventually Waxwell caught wind and contacted me and sent over his recording, and we explained the situation as I was making the video. So I had to restructure the video a bit, but yeah, hopefully when something like this pops up again and we're able to debunk it properly and see if it is legitimate or not. But thanks again, Waxworld, and to everyone that I was able to communicate with, and until next time, take care, mates.